I don't think I'll ever touch the market again.
I'm not changing anything.
Sleep well tonight. Don't read the headlines, because it's all doom and gloom.
There's some...